Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks! What are you?
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to And I Quote. This is a weekly show where we introduce you to creators of all shapes and sizes that join us from any and all corners of the universe. We find out more about them by taking your questions. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote channel, and our guest on this episode is certainly a first for this type of show and for this type of format, for me anyway. Please welcome motivational speaker Darius Bradley Sr. is in the building. Hello, Darius. How are you?
Hey, blessings and gratitude, brother Ryan. Doing well. How about yourself, brother?
Oh, I'm doing fine. We're all fine here. Now, thank you. Now, if you have any questions for our friend Darius, let us know in those questions. Let us know in the comments. Or we're going to be more than happy to take those as they come in respectively. So, and if you're joining us live on the replay, we thank you so much for being with us. And do not forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. And without any further ado, Darius, what would you say were some of your favorite TV series to watch growing up?
Oh, coming up, man. I had a lot of great shows, man. The Cosby Show was one of my, great shows, man. Family Matters. What was the other one? What is it? House. What is the name of that show, man?
Is it House
God.
MD or Little House on the Prairie?
No, not Little House on the Prairie. It was the show with the dads, the two dads, and they had their daughters, the
Three's
little
Company?
Olsen twins. The
Oh,
Olsen
you mean
twins.
Full House? Full House. Yeah.
Full House, man. That was one of my shows. I had a lot of Nickelodeon shows that I used to watch all the time. So you can't do that on TV, some throwbacks, you know what I'm saying? So I had a good variety, cartoons, all that great stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. And speaking of good stuff, our good friend Charm Celebrations is here. She says, "Good morning, fellas." Good morning, Charm.
It's GG. What's going on, sister?
Yeah, good to see you. Let us know if you have any questions from your friendly neighborhood motivational speaker known as Darius in that live chat or
Hey.
in those comments. We love you. We love you to pieces, G.
Absolutely.
Speaking of TV shows, outside of that, what would you say were some of your favorite movies growing up?
Oh, man, my movies, The Gremlins, man.
Don't feed them
was
after
one-
midnight.
Yeah, do not feed them after midnight. E.T. What was the other one? The Goonies. Star Wars. All of the Marvel shows coming up. Superman, Batman. That was some of my great shows, man. The comics. I mean, the Marvels. Superhero shows always did something to me. Like Rocky. Rocky always did something to me. Rocky, that adversity, overcoming it. Even when I was a kid, it was just something about that energy, the underdog. You know what I'm saying? We've all been in that position in our lives, and when you watch Rocky, you just feel like you are Rocky Balboa. You know what I'm saying? So Rocky was a great show for me as well. Many shows, man, many. Ghostbusters, I would like that as well.
Yeah, that movie just celebrated its 40th anniversary a few weeks ago.
Absolutely. Did you happen to see the latest one yet, or?
I haven't seen Frozen Empire, so I can't comment or speculate. I've only seen the first three, which is Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, and then Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, Afterlife really was a touching one. I love how they paid homage to my
Harold
guy.
Ramis.
It was really,
Egon.
yeah, it was touching, man. I had the honor to go and see that in the movie theaters, my wife and I, and you can just feel the energy of love and compassion throughout the whole movie theater. That movie was just more than at that time, considering what had happened and everything like that. So it just brought even more deeper meaning to the classic. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with that. And if you watch all three movies, whether it's the first one, the second one, or Ghostbusters Afterlife, that's a big Twinkie.
It is.
Yeah, it's a big Twinkie. So just throwing that out there. And you mentioned Star Wars. What's your favorite Star Wars movie? Which one's your favorite?
Can you really have a favorite?
I mean, you
know what I'm
could, but then
saying?
again, it's like picking your favorite child.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go safe mode because I know there's a lot of Star Wars fans out there, man. I'm just gonna say I love all of them and the uniqueness that each chapter brings, the unveiling of each story and the way that they follow the line. You learn more of the history, the origins of the movie and what it entails. So I mean, I just love how it depicts each character and bless them to have that opportunity to show their side of the Star Wars, galaxy and community and family, man. So I really don't have one favorite. I love all of them, man.
Oh, trying to be diplomatic here. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, if you ever get a chance, you're more than welcome to tune in to what is known as the Nerdy Cantina on Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where my colleagues and I talk about all things Star Wars, including the new series that recently just dropped on a little thing called Disney Plus called Star Wars: The Acolyte.
Okay.
So, now, just be warned, those are spoiler-heavy discussions. So if you haven't seen those episodes yet, you got to save those videos in your watch later list, respectively. But if you don't mind spoilers, you can join us on Friday night, 7 p.m. in the chat, Darius. Maybe you'll get something out of that. Who knows?
Yeah, don't threaten me with a good time, brother. I'll be tuning in. I'll be tuning in.
You can tune in Friday night, 7 p.m. So check it out. By the way, there is a playlist for all episodes for those of you who are watching or listening right now. It's called For the Star Wars Nerds. That's the name of the playlist. It has all our back episodes, all the backlogs of all the things we've talked about, which concerns the galaxy far, far away. So please feel free to check out that playlist. We got something for everybody on this YouTube channel. We do our best to entertain as many audiences and many individuals as humanly possible, which is an awful lot of fun. So you mentioned something about some of the Marvel characters or TV shows or movies growing up. What would you say are some of your favorite Marvel movies?
Like, Batman is truly.
Well, he's DC. That's not Marvel.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? So let's see.
It's okay. You can have it both ways. People can like DC and Marvel and still be friends. It's fine.
Man, so Superman is Marvel, right? Okay.
No. Once again, that's DC.
No? So who is Iron Man?
Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Incredible Hulk, the Avengers, all those guys, the X-Men, that's all Marvel. When it comes to Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, that's DC.
DC. Got you. So, like, the Wolverine, man, his story of strength and what he had to go through, trials and adversities, trying to figure things out, through life, becoming a beast, undergoing such an invasive transformation in his life, not just physically, but mentally, and enduring it all, finding out who he was, finding out who he was becoming, and accepting whatever the challenges were, even, when he didn't, intentionally, you willingly want to become who he became, and I say that because that's life. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we're going to have to go through some tough stuff. We have to grow through adversity, the challenges, just because we're equipped with all the fancy claws and all of this in life doesn't mean that we're exempt from the trials and the tribulations that's going to come with it. So I love how he faced adversity. He struggled with, wanting to give up, wanting to continue, but he ultimately doing it for the good, then trying to figure out who he was at the same time. Like, do I deserve, some of me? I'm so busy trying to help this world that we live in and the individuals and collectives of people, but he was equipped with something that can benefit in a meaningful way, even though it caused him pain. He did it, and he does so unconditionally. So the Wolverine is my guy. I identify with him in some things, man. But each Marvel character, they have their own strengths and their weaknesses, and I love how they show both sides. But overall, overcome whatever it is, the challenges it may be. You know what I'm saying? So Wolverine, yeah, that's my guy, man.
I gotcha. Have you seen the animated series that just dropped recently, X-Men 97, which is a sequel to the original 1992 animated series?
Nope, I have not. I'm not going to lie to you, Brother Ryan. I have not. But you know what?
You got some streaming to do, son.
I do, man. I really do. I've been in a cave lately, man. I've just
the Bat Cave, maybe?
The Bat Cave and product. Look, I'm in it right now.
You're in the Bat Cave. That's right.
Behind me, productive isolation is where I've been, man, for some time. Just grinding, man. Grinding. Yeah,
I can understand that. But when you do get a chance, please watch X-Men 97. All 10 episodes are available on Disney Plus. # not a sponsor. But if they want to be, call me maybe, and then we'll talk about it later. So once again, we are here with the great Darius Bradley Sr., who is a motivational speaker. Don't forget to like and share this episode of A Night Quote with all your closest friends. If you have any questions for him, let us know in the chat. And if you're joining us live on a replay, we thank you specifically so much for being with us. And Charm Celebrations chimes in. She says, I love that storyline, and Wolverine and Deadpool, the official movie, is coming out next month, Darius. Are you going to be there opening weekend?
Hey, you know what? If God said the same, I'm there.
Okay. All right. Well, Deadpool and Wolverine's coming out very soon, so fasten your seatbelts. That's going to be one heck of a weird, twisted ride. Yeah.
Will be that you know what? Deadpool and Wolverine, that's That's a different kind of combination right there, man. You're right
Tell
about
me,
that.
tell me about it. I'm not a Deadpool fan, never have been, never will be, but it's Wolverine, and I like Wolverine. And Hugh Jackman's the man. And by the way, Philip Miller's here with us. He says productive isolation. He's clapping for you, Darius.
Blessings, brother Phil. Blessings, brother. Productive isolation. I believe in that, man. Sometimes we're gonna have to isolate ourselves, man. Remove ourselves from ourselves and remove ourselves from others. And what I mean by remove ourselves from ourselves, our current default, our personal ways. This is Darius. This is how I do it all of the time. Well, this is Darius. This is how I do it all the time. It's not going to absolutely elevate me to the next level that I'm trying to be. So sometimes we have to become someone that we've never been in order for us to do things that we've never done and live a life that we've never experienced. So productive isolation is the path to take for that, man. So blessings, brother Phil. Absolutely.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What would you say were some of your favorite books to read growing up, Darius?
You know what, man? I was always into like fiction, like whatever. It would be like the magical transformation, but like just out of this world stuff that just made you use your mind and escape from wherever it is that you currently were. I don't remember all of the titles, but it would be like fantasy books and just out of this world type of books, man, like magical, Disney type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like just had your imagination going and growing and stretching. I love books like that, man. Also, I love, history books. I don't know what it was about history books, but it just fascinated me. Just learning and discovering. For me, anytime I read a book, I treat it as if I'm going on a vacation. Right. And I don't even have to leave my current location to go there. Right. I just have to close my eyes internally and envision what it is that I'm reading. And I'm actually there. It's an escape. You know what I'm saying? So books are therapeutic to me, and many others are, I'm sure, but I love, self-help books. I love personal development books, but I just love books that help you get out of your everyday hustle and bustle and allow you just to have that freedom of escaping the norm and just, developing, creating however you desire, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what books are for. You know what I'm saying? To push that drive of that creative side of us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And simply all you have to do sometimes is take a look. It's in a book.
Oh, Ryan, come on now.
I know.
Come on, say that again,
Ryan. All right. Well, sometimes all you got to do is take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow. See, I'm sorry.
Reading rainbow.
That's right. Yeah. I grew up on reruns of that as a kid, so it's fair. And by the way, I've had the pleasure of meeting the host of that show.
Did you?
LeVar Burton and I had a conversation one time. He said to me, well, first of all, when I met him, I was awestruck. And then the second time, or the next moment after my fanboy kind of, simmered, I thought, would you be willing to sign my book? And he said, and it was actually, and this is a true story, I had a children's book that I still have from when I was a little boy. And it was called Kate Shelley and the Midnight Express by Margaret K. Wetterer. So it's about a girl who saves a train from being derailed during a very terrible storm. And it is actually based on a true story. And I grew up like many boys were raised on the love of trains. When their fathers would take them to the train museum, or they would show them episodes of Thomas the Tank Engine, whatever it was. And I said, hey, I really like this book, and it had something on the book that says "Official Reading Rainbow Book" on it. And I thought, well, I have to have LeVar Burton sign this.
Yeah.
So I went over to him. I said, would you be willing to sign my book? He said, absolutely. So he turns in the book, writes on the inside cover, "Peace and blessings, love, LeVar Burton." So that was really special. That was nice. And then I told him, hey, I really liked your episode on where you were discussing about trains and how important they are. And he says, oh, yeah, I remember that. We shot that at the California Starlight train, San Francisco. I took a day trip up and down in California way back when. I was like, that was a long time ago. But But he's like, no, I can remember all the episodes we filmed. And I was
wow.
Your memory's that sharp? He's like, yeah. And because that episode was released, if I remember correctly, by the way, someone correct me about this in the chat. I believe that episode aired in 1991 or 1990. It was very, very early in the 90s. And I thought, if this guy can remember something from 35 plus years ago, that's an amazing ability.
That's amazing, man. I'm not that great at, you know what I'm saying, remembering that far back. I'm not going to lie to you, man. But the Reading Rainbow definitely was truly one of my great shows as well. I really enjoyed that. Now I'm remembering, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm remembering now. But the Reading Rainbow, yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Another show, man, I'm serious, like Sesame Street. It's totally different now. But Sesame Street was phenomenal when I was a kid, man. You know what I'm saying? The guests that they had on there, the curriculum that they had on, you're learning so much. You're not even realizing that you're learning. You're so busy singing along and doing these little activities. You're getting exercise in. You're sharpening your mental every single day, man. But they need to bring shows back like that. I don't know why, they switched. I know things changed, but they switched it up so greatly, man, that it's not even the same anymore. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just had to throw that in there.
That's all right. As long as we're walking down the street, 1, 2, 3 Sesame Street, we can still find it. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
They still
yeah,
got all the OG characters are in the building. You still got
they
the
do.
Oscars, the Big Birds, the Cookie Monsters, the Grovers, the counts,
Right,
who teaches you how to count stuff. Are you going to count to 1, 2, 3?
right.
You got so many characters are still alive and well. And by the way, they don't seem to age. Muppets don't age. They're just immortal.
No,
So bless
yeah,
the hearts and souls that have worked tirelessly on that show for over 50 plus years, and
absolutely.
all the new puppeteers that are coming in and taking over those
Yep,
roles when the torch is being passed. Congratulations to
yep.
all of you.
Blessings.
Real quick, I will mention this because I do want to dive into something else here. My favorite character on Sesame Street is Cookie Monster. Who's your favorite?
Oh man, you
Who's
know
your favorite
what?
character?
Cookie Monster was probably my favorite too because I always wanted him to share
Really?
those cookies with me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's your favorite kind of cookie? What kind of cookie do you like?
chocolate chip, man. That is my favorite
That's your
cookie.
jam. That's your
Yeah, that's
jam. Is chocolate
chocolate
chip.
chip with macadamia nuts in there,
Mm,
any kind of almonds or pecans, just like that kind of cookie, like a fully loaded cookie.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah.
That's okay. Now you're making us all hungry here on set.
Oh
My
man,
favorite, I think my favorite cookie is, I don't know if anyone remembers these or not, Snickerdoodles.
snickerdoodles were
Snickerdoodles.
great.
Yeah, look those
Yeah,
up. They're pretty good. They're good
yeah,
stuff.
they are good.
I enjoy those. And then Charm Celebrations goes on to say the Book of Virtues 2 was an awesome show back in the day. Hmm.
The Book of Virtues. I don't remember.
That
I
doesn't
have
ring a
to.
bell. No.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. That's interesting. Let us know more about that, Charm. Just throwing that out there. Philip Miller goes on to say, Darius, I think Sesame Street is only on paid subscriptions now, so it should be free, which means you can stream it, on YouTube and
Yeah.
other streaming services such as that nature. So yeah, it's still there. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Appreciate that, brother Phil.
Plus, they offer free educational resources online at sesamestreet.org, I think it is. So
Okay.
feel free to look up
And
the website. It's good resources are available to any and all teachers and parents. So
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Appreciate
Yeah.
that, brother Phil. Yeah, Sesame Street was a great show, man. So I
Mhm.
have to tune into that some more, man. I think it's very vital for our kiddos today, man, coming up. I mean, this technology world that we live in, man, it can be great or it can be not so great. You know what I'm saying? And so, shows
Yeah.
like Sesame Street that parallel that, especially for our youngsters, even coming, young adulthood, man, it doesn't matter. Like you can get a lesson out of Sesame Street, no matter what your age bracket is. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Mhm.
what I love about Sesame Street. It's so inviting to all ages. So you're never too old to watch it, right? Okay. And so it's always there, having something to offer to anyone and everyone that's willing to learn. So Sesame Street is the way to go, man. I believe in that.
No, I totally dig it, and I am proud that some years ago, this has been happening for a while now, but they introduced a new character. I believe her name is Julia or Julie. I forget the
Is
exact.
she the
She's
sound?
the girl who's autistic, and
Okay. Yep.
people
Yep.
with autism being represented on Sesame Street. I never thought that would
Love it.
happen in 35 years. I never thought,
Yeah.
but now that it is, and she's being even more portrayed in this positive way, and they're like teaching the Sesame Street characters how to interact with her because she's so different
Right.
everybody else. I'm like, dude, like represent it, and you can say this about a lot of different things, but I'm just saying in general, representation does matter.
It
So
does.
having somebody who's autistic on that as an autistic Muppet character on that
Yeah.
show just warms my heart because I've worked with individuals with autism for years, and I'm autistic myself, so I know what it's like.
Man, that's another community that's near and dear to my heart as well, Ryan.
Mhm.
Our differently able community.
Yep.
I have a daughter that's on life support. Deontis, she's 16. She's actually the longest living person in the world with the severity of her syndrome, which is Charcot-Levin. That's a skeletal deformity. And in Deontis' case, it was so severe that it, have her dependent upon life support to live. God first, and a resource of life support here second. And so she's deaf. So the deaf culture is a big thing that we are a part of. And in our differently able community, my wife and I, we have an organization. The name of the organization is Full Ability. And Full Ability is an inclusion for all organization. We celebrate our differently able community with positive shirts that reads positive saying like "Don't diss my ability," different not less. Willie cute instead of really cute for our young ladies who are in wheelchairs, and Willie awesome for our young guys who are in wheelchairs and all of that great stuff. So, autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, you name it, that's my family too, and I believe that, in our community, when we embrace the differences and we're out there and we're showing what it is that we can do versus what it is that a lot of us look at and say, well, we can't, we don't focus on that. The limitations limit us, right? So we always look at the possibilities, because with those possibilities, elevation is limitless. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, if this guy is running for office, he has my vote. I enjoyed everything you just said, and I respect everything you just said. And I hope the person who's watching or listening to this appreciates what has been said thus far. And don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. If you have any questions for Darius, let us know in those comments. Let us know in the chat. And if you're joining us live or what is known as a replay, we thank you so much for being with us. And my next question goes over to Darius. What made you decide to become a motivational speaker?
You know what, Ryan? That's a question that I get asked a lot, man. And I didn't decide to do it, right? I didn't even know that this was going to be something. I've never said I'm going to be a motivational speaker, right? That's something that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about life. And so, through me growing through life and going through life, the contrast, the trials and tribulations of me just living a faith-based life, ever since I was a young kid, even though I didn't understand a lot of stuff I was learning, but as I grew into those trials and tribulations, I grew beyond those trials and tribulations when I leaned on the word of God. And so God told me early on, not early on, I always knew. At first I started off with music. Right. I'm originally from New Orleans. So I was in the music industry for many years, man. I have several albums out. I really thought that was going to be the way for me. I was really passionate about music, still am, but God had a different purpose for that. He just wanted to show me my capabilities. Right. But that wasn't going to be my calling. So sometimes we're capable to do something, but that doesn't mean it's your calling. And I didn't know that. I just thought because I was capable of doing music, that was going to be my way. And man, just going through trials and tribulations, losing my dad at the age of 15. He was 41, transition of colon cancer. I really went through that. That was my best friend, my hero here on earth, and I lost him, and I went through a lot of things through that, going through Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, almost, I lost everything that I own. My house that I was living in was under 17 foot of water. Right. And I was in the oil industry at that time. And so, I barely made it out of the storm. My family, which was my wife and my son, my only one son, Darius Jr. at the time, we made it out of there with the clothes on our back, man. We lost everything, houses, cars, all of that good stuff. Went through that, just pain for you. Lost my dad, went through the Hurricane Katrina, lived in Vicksburg, Mississippi, almost 2 years after the storm, moved to Texas after that. Come to Texas, learned that we're pregnant, learned that my daughter is going to have severe, discrepancies. She's born on life support. So Katrina, my dad, my daughter, just all of these things back to back to back. And, I would always find myself down on flat ground, but always elevated by the grace of God and in his word, his truth. And I would speak in these programs or whatnot, or I'll just be talking to people like I'm talking to you right now. And I would just be in certain places where I had an opportunity to just share my heart and share my story. And people would often ask, Darius, are you a motivational speaker? Are you a pastor, a preacher? You're just so passionate when you speak, and, you're so magnetic. And I'm like, lessons, no, I'm not a motivational speaker. And I just started being invited to come and speak at certain things. And when I would do so, I prayed on it, and God revealed to me that he said, Darius, he said, son, I'm giving you this content. I'm at this contrast so it can become your content. And I was like, what? What does that even mean? And I heard our Father clearly. He said, the pain that you're going through, though it hurts, it's not there to hurt you. It's there as an indicator to let you know who you are, where you are, and who it is that you are to become. I need you to repurpose your pain and breathe life into your brothers and sisters, my children, the same way that machine is breathing life into your daughter. And so, I just started being obedient, started programs at Texas Children's Hospital with the NICU dads, fathers who are newly transitioning into this lifestyle. And I ran a program over there for 5 years, themed papas and pizza. And then that just started evolving into something. And I started getting invites from hospitals and organizations and schools to come and speak. And God gave me this name, Divine Encourager, which stands for God's message, right? It doesn't have anything to do with Darius, even though these 3 words that read on my chest and on the screen, go get it, was given to me by my uncle when I was 15, when my dad passed away. You know what I'm saying? He was just talking to me about a truck. And I told him I like his F-150. And he was like, you like that? I said, yeah. He said, well, go get it. And I'm waiting for him to say, you're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to finish school. You're going to have to do all these adult things to afford a truck like that. Mind you, I'm only 15. So go get it has been a part of my life since the age of 15. He didn't scream it to me the way I scream, go get it, but that's how I heard it. When he said it, he has such a profound belief that I can actually go get this F-150. He said to me, you like it? Go get it. And it stuck with me. And so Divine Encourager is the name given by our Heavenly Father, and go get it is the platform and the message of repurposing our pain, because we can't escape it. And so that, emerged, and those are the origins of Darius Bradley Sr. becoming the responsible authority figure for the Divine Encourager platform. And so I take no credit for anything that I do on this platform. I know it's our Heavenly Father, it's His grace, it's His mercy, it's His gift. And I'm just being obedient to the calling and assignment of delivering what it is that His message, divine, God, encourager message, God's message is. And so, the life of motivational speaking and encouragement speaking is the title, but the purpose and the calling is God's message, man.
My goodness. That is a heck of an Eat Your Hollywood story if I ever heard one. But sorry for the struggles that you went through, whether it was Hurricane Katrina, some of the things that have happened in down by the bayou, known as Louisiana.
Yeah.
Maybe you bumped into Gambit while you were down there. First we charge the car, then we blow it up. Life don't get much better than that.
There we go. We go. You sure you're not from New Orleans, man?
I'm there. No, I'm not, but I can do an impression of a Cajun accent because I watched X-Men, so I got Gambit in me. So
there you go.
Which I don't mind it, because Gambit's one of the cooler characters in X-Men histories anyway. So
yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
I mean, seriously, man, it's all good, mon ami. See, he's dropping that stuff again. But after you, and by the way, once again, sorry for the struggles you've been through, but you're doing well. Your family's doing well, which is great. So after hearing all that, I think on behalf of some of the members of this audience and us here in the studio, all we got is this.
Yes! That's awesome!
So, gotta give you mad props, man. Gotta give you mad props. But I'm just curious, so you kind of mentioned a few things, but if you want to add to this, you're more than welcome to. What would you say are some of the biggest rewards about being a motivational speaker to you?
Man, being able to go through your contrast, knowing that you're not doing it solely for yourself. So I know in my greatest pain, I'm serving a greater purpose. So when I'm going through pain, I look at myself as being under construction to become a pillar, a bridge, a stepping stone, and or a ladder for those who are needing to get across and or over whatever it is that they're going through, right? So, it's a blessing for me because I'm able to be a blessing to others, right? And I'm doing it by the grace of God. So whenever the Goliaths are in front of me, I know that God is telling me right then and there that Darius, you're about to elevate, right? He wouldn't prepare me to face this giant if he had not already prepared me to defeat him. God said we're more than conquerors, and that's only so because we're doing it through God, through Jesus, Christ who strengthens us. So on our own, we're going to find difficulties, but I love in that illustration that it shows that sometimes we're going to have to do things as an individual, but then we're going to get to a point where it's going to take a collective effort, and we're going to have to lean on others. So I know that when I'm going through some of my greatest challenges, and I'm able to translate that and transfer that into encouragement and motivation, that right there I'm being sculpted through my pain to have the experience of what someone else is going through. May not be titled the same, but I'm breathing heavy just like you. My heart is beating fast just like yours. I'm understanding the heaviness that's on my back just like yours. So I'm able to ergonomically structure myself mentally, spiritually, and physically in efforts to pull you out, catapult you over and make sure that you get to where it is that you're meant to be in this collective effort of something that you've done individually on your own to get you to where you are right now. So I'm always excited to be a foundation of solidification and a pillar to hold up whatever the structure is that needs to be held up at that moment. So yeah, man, being this speaker and being this calling. That's what I'm gonna say. Being and doing this calling has blessed me in ineffable ways, because it's blessing others in ways that's going to last them a lifetime and those who are connected to them.
Rock on, man. On the other side of things, though, what would you say are some of the biggest challenges about being a motivational speaker?
It's heavy because you're human. And right, you have your own behind the scene things going on. And so when you have a calling, whatever your calling may be of responsibility, being a podcaster, dealing with different personalities, always coming up with topics and being spot on with those things, being a caregiver, a doctor, a nurse, respiratory tech, whatever it is that you're, whatever those responsibilities are, someone's waiting on their mail. If you're a postal worker, FedEx, Amazon, but you have your own responsibilities going on too. Someone may give you a call, your child is being rushed to the hospital, you're 3 hours away delivering. So what are those things? What are what we call burdens, but what are the heaviness? So it's heavy on me. As I express, I have a little girl that's on life support. I have two sons, a 25-year-old and a 12-year-old. My daughter is 16. My wife and I, we've been together for 27 years. All of those individuals need me for something, but I need me for something too. And outside of me needing me and my immediate family need me, I have a gift to go and serve that other people need. It's not Darius that they need, but it's the gift of divine encouragement that they need, and I'm responsible to deliver that. So the challenges come in when I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like it today. Whatever I don't feel like doing. I'm not in the mood today. Or I really don't. The heaviness is too heavy. I have a justifiable reason to tap out and give up. So I'm going to lean on that today. It's when you push through that. It's when you push through that. Knowing that though you feel those things, you don't have to stay there. And so I had to learn that, because the moments that I stayed there, someone else did not benefit as they should have, and I did not become who I was supposed to be for that day. And so when I started realizing how important each heartbeats are, and that we don't know how many tomorrows remains for any of us, I can't really tap out and give up just because I have justifiable reasons. I still have to adhere to whatever the calling is, responsibly, taking care of myself, adhering to that as well, listening to my body, doing things appropriately, but not being neglectful just because I'm tired in my feelings. I still have energy to go another mile. I just decided that I'm sweating now. I'm feeling some pain now. I'm going to tap out now. No, that's only indicators that you're doing something. Fatigue will set in and let you know exactly when you need to sit down. But just because you're breathing heavy and you're sweating and you're feeling some pain doesn't mean that you're tapping out now. That just means that you're in position of movement, you're growing, you're stretching, and you're getting things done, whatever that is. So, it can be heavy, but I can become stronger because of the heaviness.
Well, I thank you for sharing that with us. And it kind of reminds me of something I heard in a video. And you can find this video on YouTube, by the way. And I'll send this backstage. I'll send this over to Darius this way so you can watch this as well. There's one quote. I can't remember who the individual was who said this, but he said, "Pain is temporary. It can last a minute or an hour or a day, but eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it'll last forever." So, that's the
That's
beauty
so
of
deep.
YouTube, fans. You can find anything on YouTube to get you motivated on that morning. So,
It's so deep, man.
yeah.
And that's so true. Do we
Mhm.
want it to last forever? That's going to be painful too.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So which pain do
Nice.
you want to experience?
Mhm.
It's all indicators, right? That's all pain is. It's an indication of something. It's just like a driving signal or a stoplight. It's
Mhm.
indicating slow down, stop, or go. Which one do you want to do? If you run that red light, there's an accident bound to happen, right? So if you prolong pain and you stay there, there's an accident bound to happen. So I just believe that we should use it accordingly and appropriately. And when we do so, then we'll get to where we need to be on time. and safe.
That's very true. We hope the person who's watching or listening to this great episode of And I Quote is remaining safe if you should be driving or if you are driving, something like that. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And if you're joining us live or on the replay, we thank you specifically so much for being with us. If you have any questions for Darius, let us know in those questions. Let us know in the comments. More than happy to take those as they come in respectively. What advice would you give to individuals who aspire to be motivational speakers themselves?
You know what? And if you want to, be a motivational speaker, don't go in to be a motivational speaker. Go in to resolve someone's problem, because someone is going through something right now, and be organically transparent. And what I mean by that, be truthful, right? People pick up on energy. So if you have a gift to serve, and whatever those gifts are in those areas are, serve the person and the reason, the why, and the purpose that they're living. Right? When we can address the reason, the why, and the purpose of ourselves and or those who we're reaching out to help, then it will be intentional, meaningful, purposeful, and it'll be organic, transparent, golden added value, right? We can all put a title on something, but it's not the title. It's the passion and the purpose and the nourishment that comes with that. When I say nourishment, some of us eat for taste. Some of us eat to survive. Some of us eat to sustain a certain healthy lifestyle. If we can be that healthy lifestyle of verbiage for others and what we're placing in their ears, but most importantly, their heart, then we can sustain them. We can enrich them. We can advance them and enhance them in ways that they may not have experienced in the past because of whom they were attached to, their atmosphere, their strongholds, their beliefs, their defaults. If we can get them beyond those things, then we're really adding benefit. We're really adding value to those. So don't look for the title, serve the purpose. What are the hardships that they're going through? What are the contrasting moments in the darkest rooms that they're in? Don't run away from the problem, run to it with a solution. And if we can run to a problem with a solution, then more people will come to us with their problem, right? And so if we can believe that, then we can get past and we can help others get past whatever it is that they're going through in order for them to grow through. There's a saying that I say, press through the test. And when we press through the test, that will enable us to stretch and receive the reward or the blessing, I should say, not reward, but the blessings that God has set before us, right? If we can help people identify that, God will never put our blessings behind us or exactly where we are, because he wants us to go beyond. So when we press through the test, it will enable us to stretch and reach the blessings that God has set before us. And if we can help others press through the test, then wanting to be a motivational speaker is something that is effortless, right? It's low-hanging fruit. You can achieve it. Just be that person who truly cares about the person and not the position of the title.
Right on, man. Right on. Thank you for sharing that with us. Have there been any special memories for you from being at public speaking engagements or being at other events, whether you're there doing a public speaking engagement or there as an attendee, that stand out to you?
Yeah, man. And whenever I'm in the presence of another speaker, I have the opportunity to wholeheartedly hone into what it is that they're saying. And I find myself in their story as I'm listening to their story. The same way I read the Bible, it doesn't matter who I'm reading about, I always apply my name so it can become tangible to me. When I'm listening to another speaker share their pain, I'm also looking at how they have progressed. Right. So they went through something, but they didn't stay there. They decided to move beyond that marker because they knew that they could and that they were predestined to do so. And so I'm charging in, I'm plugged in and I'm charging. And when I'm doing that, I also take that to my own speaking and I express reciprocity. It's one thing to receive something, but it's a whole nother thing to give back more than you receive. And so when I'm speaking, I have to credit other speakers. I have to credit other authors. I have to credit other motivational whomever. You don't have to have that as your title as a motivational speaker. I can be in a hospital. I can be in a school setting. I can be, on vacation, and I hear someone or see someone just doing something extremely positive, right? I don't want to just take that for myself. I want to express that and stain others with that same kindness and positivity that I received. So when I'm out there and I'm speaking, man, I know that it's a responsibility for me to express that reciprocity and express that to others and extend that to others, man. And my greatest joy is like when my family is there. When I have an opportunity to have my family at any engagement that I'm speaking, and I look out into that audience and I see my daughter and I see my two sons and my wife, then I look at the other people and I'm like, someone has a daughter, someone has a son, someone has a wife, a husband. And the same feeling that I'm getting of looking at my daughter, my two sons, and my wife as I'm speaking and I'm pouring in passionately, I have to also give that same energy to those who are looking at me, that when they leave here, they have others looking at them the same way. And I have to make sure that they don't just hear what I say. They have to take a to-go plate with them, right? To go ahead on and extend that to those who are dependent and relying on them as well. And so that's one of my greatest feelings, man, that I get to serve in the capacity that God has given me. Said our gift shall make room, not only just for us, but for those who we are serving in that moment. And so I'm always excited when I'm able to give my whole heart to those who are able to then go back and give that to those who matter most to them.
Goodness gracious, this man has a way with words, doesn't he, ladies and gentlemen? I'm just throwing it out there. No, it's great stuff, man. Seriously, good pieces of material there, good pieces of advice, and special memories that you've had thus far in your incredible time as a motivational speaker. Now, I do want to let you know that this episode, and every episode, I should say, more specifically of And I Quote, is indeed powered by our good friends at Pod Decks. Now, Pod Decks are the hottest, and I mean even hotter than the state of Texas. New tool, that's right, Texas. New tool for podcasters looking to have more meaningful conversations or simply gamify their podcasts. So you simply shuffle up, you ask a question, and you let the content roll. You can get yours today at poddex.com, and make sure you use that promo code Ryan10. That's RYAN10, Ryan10 for 10% off your order. There's also an app available there on the website, so make sure you check that out, download it. You're going to like the way you look after testing out some of those questions. Yeah, see? Yeah, I know. I'm a walking billboard. It's so sad.
I love it.
But before our good friends at Poddex ask you a few questions here, Charm has something to say about this. She
Okay.
says, did you have a mentor along the way on this journey? And what would you suggest for people who want to be a speaker to go about starting public speaking events?
Yeah, absolutely, sis. I did have mentors. My big brother Derek, who also passed just 2 years, 3 years ago. He taught me everything that I know, him and my dad, right? And so, just listening and learning from them through the trials and tribulations that I went through, and not just the trials and tribulations, but also the celebratory moments, right? They guided me. They were my training wheels throughout my life. I grew up in a very rough area in New Orleans, and so I experienced a lot of things coming up early. I grew up really fast. And so I had to have someone there guiding me, teaching me. And my big brother Derek and my dad Irwin, they were extremely instrumental in my life coming up. My uncle Irvin, who's blessed me with the go get it terminology. I had several uncles in my life that was there. I was in a youth leadership program coming up in church. And now I say all of this stuff, but even though I had those mentors, I wasn't necessarily doing everything that they, suggested I should do. Right. And so growing up, and then coming into adulthood, I was sculpted and molded into this person that you see now. And then going through what I went through with my daughter, I didn't have my brother or my dad, to really just necessarily help guide me through that. So like Brother Ryan expressed earlier, YouTube University became a friend of mine, man. I don't know. I just, I was on there one day just listening to, gospel music, right? And I was like, I typed up motivational gospel music, and because I wouldn't really talk to anyone about what I was going through and growing through at the time. I just wanted to deal with it in my own way, pray about it and do whatever. And I was led to an individual named Les Brown, right? Never even knew who Les Brown was, never heard of him in my life, right? And I started listening to him. And before, along parallel with Les Brown, it was Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn and Napoleon Hill, right? Think and Grow Rich, people like that, right? And I started listening to these guys, and that was music to my ears. And I would be at work listening to these guys. Anywhere I would be at, if I'm listening to the gospel, then I would turn on one of their, videos or something like that, listening. And I fell in love with Les Brown and his motivational, guidance and all. And then that led me to a voice, and that voice sounded so similar to mine. And the passion sounded so similar to mine. And I was listening to it out loud one day. And my wife said, "Did you make a video?" posted. I said, no. I said, I don't know who this guy is. It's a voiceover on Les Brown's video, and the guy sound exactly like me. I had to stop and pause, and I'm like, oh, I sound exactly like him, vice versa. But we sound so similar, and the passion that came with it. And I mind you, I wasn't even really speaking at the time. That I was just like, this is how I talk. It's the same energy. And that guy, I learned later that his name was Eric Thomas. And I was like, who is this guy? And we sound so similar. And I'm like, man, I didn't think that type of swag would be invited in the motivational world. Right. And I was like, man, it encouraged me to hurry up and start to do what it is that I'm doing right now. I was like, man, I have to hurry up and get moving with this. This guy is, we're so similar, you know what I'm saying? I have to get things going. Well, found out that Eric Thomas has been around for a very long time, and I respect him, and I have nothing but love and respect for him. He's one of my greatest mentors, though we've never met. I really embrace his passion and the way that he does things. So to answer your question, Eric Thomas is a great mentor of mine. Les Brown is a great mentor of mine. Myron Golden is another great mentor of mine. I have several mentors whom I've never personally met, but I respect them and love them and look up to them as my brothers. And so, people who are trying to get started in public speaking, surround yourself with those who are doing it. And not just those who you can get up close and personal with, but those who are for a distance. Start studying the culture. Start, paralleling that with your reason, your why, and your purpose. Start learning how to hone in on telling your story and reaching out to people, because it's much more than just being a speaker. It's absolutely a responsibility of being a blessing and a pillar and a foundation for others. And that's really heavy. But when you're doing it, you know that you or in the right direction, because you're not doing it selfishly, you're doing it selflessly. And so the more you feed into others and help them, the more energy you get from that. I know it probably doesn't make sense, but it's like when you're running a football, I know we're running a football and you have your blockers and they're blocking for you. In their strengths, you're able to move the chain. So know that you are blocking out challenges for someone and helping them push and press through that in order for them to gain the yardage, okay, that is meant for them, that is possible for them. So it's a heavy responsibility, but if you're willing to do it, then put into practice with those who are putting into practice and doing the work, and be willing to do so unconditionally.
If you had used a college basketball reference, I would have given you 10 points for Gryffindor. But you used a football reference. I'm like, come on, man, football. Who cares about foosball? I'm a college basketball fan. Get with it. No, I'm just listen. It's all good, man. Listen, I never thought I would say this, and I don't mean to devalue anything that Darius just said, but I wasn't a sports fan for a long, long time, and then one day I pop on the TV and I'm watching college basketball during NCAA March Madness.
Yep.
And I got really into it, and I'm thinking, this is fun now. I like this. So now I'm into college basketball. So if anyone ever wants to talk college basketball with me when the tournaments come up, especially, March Madness is easier to keep track of because you have your brackets in front of you. And yes, I do make picks. Okay. I did it for both men's and women's this year. First time I ever did it, I made picks for men's and women's. I got a lot of things right first time out of the gate. First year I'm doing this, but sometimes you don't always get things. There's no such thing as a perfect bracket. Let me just put it to you that way. But at least my NC State Wolfpack did pretty good in the tournament. They didn't make it to the ship, but they went pretty good, man. My NC State Wolfpack for life. Ooh,
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm an NC State, baby. But anyway, thank you so much for sharing that with us, and thank you for answering Charm's question. Here's something that Philip Miller likes to share with us. Philip Miller says, Darius, you have fought well, and I can see that the odds have been stacked against you in a most unfair and cruel way. Your fight continues, and just know our collective efforts to make this unfortunate land better for not just you, but for all the real victims of this life. And he also goes on to say, we will not be silenced by the wealthy.
Absolutely, brother Phil. I appreciate your contribution, man. Listen, your message touched my heart just like everyone else's, man. And when we learn that, and we know that we have the fuel to push and drive to the places that we may be themed, we're going to be barricaded out or we locked out of, we have the ability to break down any wall, move any mountain, defeat any Goliath. Our greatest contrast become our greatest compliments of our greatest contrast. And our greatest challenges will position us to our greatest heights, I should say. right? It's only because we push through the adversity that we're able to have the advantages that most won't because they decided to stay there for whatever the reason may be. But I just truly believe, like you said, Brother Philip, when we push through whatever it is that we go through, and when we decide to say yes when everyone else is saying no, and when we decide to stand up internally when life has an opportunity to set us down externally, then we really grow, and we really live the life that was predestined for us, man. So trials and tribulations, they can come, but we coming too, Brother Phil, just like you said, man. Blessings to you, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for sharing that with us, Philip, and thank you for mentioning those comments and questions there, Darius. So I want to turn things over to our good friends at poddex.com because they got some really good questions for our friendly neighborhood Darius here. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. If you have any questions for Darius, let us know in those comments or the chat. And if you're joining us live on the replay, we thank you so much for being with us. Can't do this without you. So Poddex wants to know the following. If you could ask one person one question and they had to answer truthfully, who and what would you ask? And if you want to throw Charm Celebrations, aka G, or my sister G, under the bus, you're more than welcome to. She won't mind. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what?
We love you, G. We love
them,
you. We love you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw this question to Sister Gigi too, man. I want to ask you, what is your reason, your why, and your purpose for wanting to become a public speaker? And what is it that you have that will add value to those who right now are in the darkest realms of their life?
Okay, that's
Yep.
all right. The tables of time, Dr. Abel.
Yep.
G, my sister G, you better get out there and answer that question in the chat. I'm very curious. Now I'm very curious to hear how she's going to answer this question that was posed by Darius here. All right, so while she's writing on her legal pad with a giant pen that I know she's writing on right now, G,
she's writing.
You're writing something down there on that pen and paper that you have in your studio, Gata. Here's the next question from our good friends at poddex.com. They want to know, what's the favorite thing you've bought this year so far?
Wow, the favorite thing that I've bought this year so far was a Mother's Day card for my wife. Right, I had an opportunity to, verbally express and illustrate to her, not only vocally, but and with my verbiage, my agape love for her. Whenever I'm purchasing something for my kids or my wife, it's always my greatest joy to do so because they don't ask for it, right? That's why it's my greatest joy, because they never expect anything. And so when I'm able to go and get whatever it is that my heart is telling me to get for them, then man, that's priceless for me. It's ineffable.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And that was quick. She wrote down her answer and then she chimed it in the chat. So Gata says, that's an awesome question. And it's a breakthrough to get out of your own way. And then she goes on to say, to inspire the youth and believe in themselves as her platform. Okay.
I love it. I love it. And with that in your heart, then I promise you'll be in position to serve many people, not only the youth, but those who you did not even expect to serve. And I promise you that. And I'm saying that because guess what? I have an event coming up. And guess what? I want sis to be on that event roster. And guess what? You're going to serve the youth. And guess what? You're going to bless the adults. And guess what? You're going to be the blessing that God positioned you to be. So, yeah, let's go.
Talk about a go get it message if I ever heard one. And then Gata goes on to say, lastly, each person's test is their greatest testimony and triumphant success to make it through, she says.
Absolutely. And we have to believe that and know it. We have to believe that and know it.
Yeah. Can we put these on banners or t-shirts or something, G? We got to get you started on something here. We got to get a graphic designer to put some stuff together for all three of us. And here's another thing, Darius, by the way, this isn't me putting myself on a pedestal, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. This is no ego trip. I want to make that perfectly clear to our audience because they may consider it that, but it's not.
Yeah.
If you ever need me to speak at one of your engagements or whatever, I can communicate with you guys virtually and you guys have the technology to do so. Just let me know and I'm down.
Man, listen, Brother Ryan, you already know I truly I express to you on the camera and off the camera, you have such a magnetic energy and it fills the atmosphere with positivity, man. And I love it. Like I said earlier, being in Ryan's presence, guys, I promise you feel like you went to elementary, junior high, and high school with him, college, and wherever else, man. I feel like I've been knowing Brother Ryan all my life. He's just such an approachable guy and magnetic. And I love his spirit. So you already know, Brother Ryan. And listen, there will be an opportunity. I'm doing a Go Get It Youth Mastermind this summer. I want to bless Sister Gigi to be a part of it. I want her to be a blessing to me and be a blessing to all who are in attendance. I'm going to have an opportunity to do some Zoom stuff as well with that. And so, of course, man, I would love for you to come and highlight yourself, man, your passion, your gift, and your serving to others, man. So our youth can benefit off of that. So yeah, if that's something that you would be interested in, man, I would love to have you as a Zoom host speaker for our young minds, man. And yeah, I know that you will have something to bless them up with, man, because you always bless me. And I've been in your presence for a few times already, man. And I'll always leave just elevated and enhanced, man. So absolutely, bro. So if you'll take me up on my offer, it's out there, brother.
I'm totally down, and I'm familiar with Zoom. I know how it works, and we can make it work no matter what. If anyone has any technical problems, we'll settle those once they become an issue. By the way, Charm Celebrations chimes in. She says, "I'm ready to get it." So
let's go get it then, sis. Let's go get it.
Yeah. We are the cream that rises to the top. Oh, yeah. The cream of the crop. That's what we are, all three of us. Charm, Darius, myself. We are the cream that rises.
Cream of the crop, man.
Yeah.
There we go.
And nobody does it better. So, yeah, I mean, we are the cream of the crop, man. We rock and roll. That's how we roll. And you know what? At the end of the day, if the three of us are ever in a room together, whether it's in the great state of Texas or somewhere outside of it, depending on where we are, by the way, because everything is different.
Yep.
This is probably going to be all three of us, just so you know. This is kind of an inside thing because Charm's a good friend of mine. She's a good friend of Darius, and Darius and Charm are now good friends of mine. So with that being said, if you get the three of us together, the trifecta, this is what's going to end up happening.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes! Yes!
It's going to be our reaction the whole flipping weekend we're in Texas. So, yeah.
You already know it, man.
Oh, wait a minute. Come on, Philip. Don't do this. Oh, no, he meant this as a joke. So Philip Miller says, Ryan's ego was as big as the captain of the Titanic ship. Not. Thanks, Philip. Appreciate you, man.
Let's go, Phil.
I love you, man. Philip, we love you, man. And yeah, that Titanic was a big ship back in 1912, man. That was a huge ocean liner. Unfortunately, it met a very early unfortunate end, which has been well documented in not just the Academy Award-winning film known as Titanic, but there's a lot of documentaries out there for those of you who are fascinated with unfortunate tragedies and shipwrecks and all that stuff. There's been some good documentaries, I'm not going to lie. I mean, honestly, the Titanic tragedy is one of the most fascinating historical events I've ever learned about or heard about through other means, other ways of going about it. So once again, our hearts and minds go out to all the victims, the descendants, the families of victims, all of that unfortunate tragedy, even though it goes all the way back to 1912 when none of us were born yet, none of our parents were born yet, none of our grandparents were born. It's a very long time ago in a place that's far, far away. With that being said, Charm goes on to say, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, she's laughing at all of us. Or she's maybe laughing at Philip's comment from 2 minutes ago. Thanks, Charm. We love you, girl.
I think so.
I think she's just laughing. She's just having too much fun back there in her studio. But here's the question from our good friends at Poddex. Poddex wants to know, when you do eventually pass away, what do you specifically want to be remembered for, Darius?
I want to be remembered that, Darius, throughout, no matter what he went through, he always illustrated the word of God. That's very important to me, because for my grandkids and my great grandkids, that's the an inheritance. If I can model that and show them that not only did I read the word, but I became the word through my everyday walk of life, then that's ingredients for my family and generations to come, and outside of my family and generations to come, to learn and live by. And I promise you, living that model will get you through any adversity, any money challenges, any sickness, any trials and tribulations, any wants, any needs. If we can do it in the promise of God, then that's a promise for life. Even while you're here and even when you're going.
Yeah. You see, anytime somebody says the words "for life," I'm always thinking of the NWO, for life, because I grew up watching wrestling. That was my thing back in the day during the Monday Night Wars between WCW and the WWE. Now, by the way, that's right, Attitude Era, brother. Yeah. Philip Miller says Stockton Rush's ego was really big back in the day. Okay. Wasn't aware of that, Philip, but thank you. And then Charm says, no, it's from the clip that you just played that I was laughing at with the ha-ha-has. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, hey, we always got pop culture references here on set, so we're always happy to make them for you. No question about it. So Poddex is curious, though. This goes a bit deeper here. What's your guilty pleasure, Darius?
Oh wow.
What do we got?
Anything?
It could be anything, man. It could be a piece of food, could be a book, could be a movie that's so bad it's good. It could be a Chuck Norris film. It could be anything. Speaking of Texas, that's where Chuck Norris is.
True.
Yeah.
They would ask that question, man. My guilty pleasure is pizza, man. I can
Really?
eat. Oh man,
What kind of
man,
pizza do you
man.
like? What do you like on your pizza? What do you like?
Meat lovers, man. Meat
Oh,
lovers.
really? Ugh.
Oh, I do, man. And listen, an abundance of cheese, right? Or feta cheese and spinach. Pan, you know what I'm saying? Not hand,
Pan.
pan.
Oh, pan
Pan
pizza.
pizza.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love pizza, man. Seriously, I can eat pizza every single day of my life if my wife
Really?
will let me. Oh, absolutely, man. I've always loved it since I was a kid, right? I don't ever get tired of it. I don't ever bore of it. And I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Okay.
Okay. But I'm more than sure that I can eat a large pizza by myself. I'll
Oh, boy.
offer you some.
Okay.
Secretly hoping that you say no, thank you. So I can enjoy that whole thing by myself. But the guy that I am, I have to offer you a slice or 2 or 3,
Okay.
right? I have to do that. But no, seriously, that's my guilty pleasure, man. But I've been on my health kick. I haven't been eating pizza in quite some time now, man. I'm down, 37 pounds right now? You know what I'm saying?
Well
So
done.
yeah, but that's my I can
That's
have
cool.
that every single day, guys. Every day.
Wow. So I take it you've watched one too many Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle episodes or movies because that's all the turtles eat is pizza. So
Yep, I was Michelangelo, Raphael,
he's the
Leonardo,
party
and
dude.
Donatello.
Yeah.
Pizza party, pizza party. Yeah, it was me, dude. Still
Yeah.
am.
Is that your favorite turtle? Was Michelangelo?
You know, Mikey was the guy, right? Mikey was the guy, man. You know, they all were, but Mikey was the turtle. Mikey was the
Mikey was the guy. Let's
Mikey
see
was the
here.
shit.
My favorite turtle was Leonardo, just because he was the leader, and I like swords, and
Yep.
swords he carries are katanas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So that's just my favorite. And by the way, just real quick though, follow-up question to that. Favorite Turtles movie? Is it the original from 1990? Is it Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze with our boy Kino, or is it Turtles 3 when they go back in time to ancient Japan samurai days?
I'm gonna go with 1 because I mean it's
The
the
OG,
original.
baby.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And when Mikey's making that phone call, he says, "I want a large cheese, ham, pepperoni. Your teenage minds are blood, eager." You know, and then as he's calling in the order, he says, I want a no anchovy. And I mean no anchovies.
No
You
anchovies.
put anchovies on this thing and
Yeah.
you're in big trouble, okay? Michelangelo.
Intro.
I
Yeah,
know, that was you.
exactly.
And the clock's ticking, dude.
Let's go, man. Man, Ryan, you have a good memory, dude.
Because I love that movie so hard, and I've watched that movie a million times.
Man, that was
Has
an
anyone
awesome
else seen that movie, Turtles from 1990? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. By the way, some people are chiming in here, and I want to give those people some moments here. Philip Miller says Stockton Rush was the original CEO of Ocean Gate, and I'm assuming that's, or no, he's going by the person who was the submarine accident last year at the Titanic site. There was an accident that happened with a submersible, and Stockton Rush was CEO of the company that made it, which led to an unfortunate tragedy. So just throwing that out there. Charm says, what's your favorite pizza? You dived in on that one. And then Philip says, Darius, who makes the best pizza where you are?
Oh wow. So there's this place called Double Dave's. That's a buddy of mine. I'm not just saying it because my buddy owns it, but it was Pizza Hut. I was the biggest Pizza Hut fan since a kid, but Pizza Hut
Nobody out pizzas the Hut.
Man, that's what they say, but I'm like, man, it's different now, man.
It's way different than it was back in the 90s, brother.
Oh, big time, man. And so, I only say Double Dave's because they are a reminder of what Pizza Hut used to be, right? And so when I first tasted my brother Alex's pizza, I was like, bro, I went straight back to my childhood when you can dine in Pizza Hut, and it was a big thing, right? I was there as a little kid as I took a slice and started biting into this thing, and I'm like, man, Papa John's, can't get away from Papa John's. They're excellent as well, but Domino's pan pizza, I really love. I don't know, it's the texture, it's everything about that, but here locally, and where I'm at in Sugar Land, Texas, I'm going to give my brother my brother Alex, Double Dave's joint the 2 thumbs up, man. If you're ever in Sugar Land, Texas, looking for some good pizza, and I'm not getting paid, guys. promoting this,
No.
but Double Dave's, man, Double Dave's Pizza off of Highway 6 is a phenomenal eat, man. Phenomenal eat.
Double Dave's. Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up. Are they on Facebook? Do they have a Facebook page I can
Yeah,
like?
they do. They have I'll have to send you the information. I'll
Send me
send
the
it to you.
information. So when I'm in Texas visiting everybody, because we have a lot of friends down there in the great state of Texas,
Yep.
we're all gonna have to gather together. I think
Let's
Charm,
go.
Darius, myself, we need to do public speaking engagements depending on where it is, and then the other circumstances that hopefully go right are we all go to Comic Palooza together, where G is interviewing the car drivers in the car, designers, and all that stuff.
Let's go.
And we all just hang out at Comic Palooza because I eat, sleep, and breathe Comic Cons anyway. And I've never
Yeah.
been to Comic Palooza, which I heard is one of the biggest shows in the West or the Southwest, whatever it is, on the where Texas is, respectively. Because I've never been to Texas, so I wouldn't know. But
Right.
we should all gather together, go to Double Dave's, have some pie,
Let's
go to
go.
the Comic Con and hang out, and then we should just rock and roll like true friends should. So.
Absolutely.
G, if you're up for that, let us know in the chat because I think the three of us could do some serious damage in a good way. By the way, in a good way, in the great state of.
Let's go. Great state of Texas,
She
baby.
says definitely count me in. All right, there we go. She's in. So we got to put this on the books for 2025.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Get it rocking and rolling. Darius, myself, we're going to be talking back and forth, and we got to incorporate G into these conversations. Got to start a thread. Of DMs or email threads. We got to get this rocking and rolling because I think we can make this happen. I think we can.
We could do it. We could do it. We could do it. We will do it.
Yeah, I think it sounds like fun, don't you? I think it sounds like fun.
Absolutely.
I've never been to Texas. I hear there's lots of good things to do in Texas, so maybe I should go down there and visit.
Yeah, man, it's a lot. It's a lot to do here in the great state of
Yeah.
Texas, man. We have a lot of festivals. We have a lot of, it's culturally based, man. We represent
A lot
everyone.
of music.
I mean, a lot of music.
A lot
good
of music
beats, good
festivals,
food.
man.
Yeah, beautiful people, man. It's just a beautiful atmosphere.
There's some
Absolutely
creative people down there in Texas.
It's very creative here, very talented place to be. A lot of great talents come out of Texas.
Very true.
Man. So I mean, yeah, it's overall the place that you want to be. I promise you.
Have to get on that. By the way, Philip Miller has an interesting follow-up question. It's something we mentioned earlier here on the show. He says, "Are the cheese sticks still like they were at Pizza Hut? The cheese sticks?"
You know what? The last time I had them, Brother Phil, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I was in San Antonio, Texas. My son and I was so excited. I was like, man, I was hungry that day. I was like, man, we're going to Pizza Hut. I got the breadsticks. I got the pizza, and everything tastes like cardboard to me. Cardboard to me. My breadsticks were so hard. The cheese was just like, oh my God, man. And I'm not trying to bash Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut, I love you, but you changed up. You just need to go back and do things the way that listen to the people and put the ingredients and do the things that the people love. And I promise you, your doors will be busting open again, man. But now the pizza, all the breadsticks, I wasn't too happy with it, but I still respect Pizza Hut as a brand. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Things change, people evolve, people make changes. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Depends on who you ask. But if that's your thing, if your producer Philip Miller says, "Yep, I had the same experience as you did in the state of California, where Philip is right now. He's in California."
Yep.
Man, it's everywhere. It's in the Southwest, Texas, and then it's out west, like really out on the west coast of California.
Absolutely, man. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And the pizza, man, that's something that you shouldn't be able to go wrong with. But sometimes it goes wrong. Yeah,
I suppose it does. And every time Philip Miller shows up here on the chat rooms, I'm always thinking of because he's in the state of California. That's where him and his family are, respectively. Philip, we love you, man. All I'm thinking of is the Hotel California.
Yep.
I'm thinking of the
there
song.
you go. There you go.
Sorry, I grew up listening to what was it? Eagles, Styx.
It's all good,
Steve Miller Band, Doobie Brothers.
Yep, it's all good.
Genesis. Do you remember Phil Collins? Good man.
Yeah,
good man.
Absolutely.
Christopher Cross is really good too. Christopher Cross is actually going on tour this summer. He's going to be in all 50 states, including Texas. So please check out his Instagram page. He listed his tour dates yesterday. They're 4 pages worth. So you got to slide. You got to slide. What is it left and look to see if he's going to be in the state of Texas where you are, or. Just check your local listings. You can do that as well. You can just Google, Christopher Cross. Is he coming to my state anytime soon? And I'm sure the tour dates will be
there.
And by the way, Christopher Cross and his band are not paying me to say any of this. It's just, I grew up listening to Christopher Cross as a kid.
There you go.
Because my dad exposed me to a lot of this music. So, Dad, I love you and I miss you. But thank you for Christopher Cross because anytime I hear that song, "Ride Like the Wind," it just brings back all the feels, brother. So.
Yep. I get it, bro.
I'll give you that. Poddex wants to know one last thing. What's your favorite gadget?
My favorite gadget?
Could be anything.
Wow. What is my favorite?
Is
What
it the
is my
tablet?
favorite?
Is it the phone? Is it the computer? Is it the streaming service? Whatever, whatever. It's your favorite gadget.
Yeah, I'm gonna say my phone, even though because I'm still learning how to utilize this thing every day, and I get intrigued by it, right? And my son or my daughter, they'll be like, my sons and my daughter will be like, Dad, that feature has been available, and I'm like, well, listen, it's new to me, and I'm still discovering things
Yeah, I'm not
on this
as
thing,
young as I
man.
once was,
Yeah,
children. Come
exactly.
on.
Give your dad about 46 years old. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have cell phones out like this one out. You know what I'm saying? We had the little flip phone. We had the beeper. You know what I'm saying? We had those
Pager,
kind of
the
things.
pager. We had the
The
Blackberries.
pager.
Do you remember the Palm Pilots?
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm like, guys, this is brand new to pop, and I'm excited about it. I'm still sometimes it's frustrating, but
Hmm.
sometimes it's super exciting.
I assumed for a moment there you were going to say, "Oh, I really dig my smartwatch."
You know what? And that's another thing that's really cool too. I do love my smartwatch, man, because I do 6 miles a day, and that
Ooh.
smartwatch is just keeping me. Oh yeah, brother, it's therapeutic. But that my smartwatch is the truth. I love my smartwatch as well,
Okay.
man.
You get your
We had the
10,000
car
steps
phone.
in?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. And I
Yeah.
take pride in it too, Ryan. I'm not
Do
gonna
you?
lie. Oh, dude,
Okay. I
I
wonder,
gotta get it in.
you and G have to compare notes because she walks certain miles every day too to get exercise respectively. And by the way, I don't mean to throw your name on the marquee here like this,
Yeah.
G, because we love you like a sister. But do
Yep.
you get your 10,000 steps in? And if you do, let us know how it goes. And then
Let us
Philip Miller
know.
says we had the car phone.
We
We
had the
had a
car
car
phone, man.
phone.
We had
Yeah,
the
that's
car phone,
going.
man.
That's going. This
Yeah,
is
man.
way back, man.
Yep.
I remember my old man had a car phone back in the day. I remember my old man had one. I thought,
Yeah.
gee whiz, what are they going to come up with next? This is
I know
nuts.
it, right? Like
It don't make no
the
sense,
Knight
man.
Rider. The Knight
Yeah,
Rider.
Knight Rider, dude, man, it's so funny. I didn't. I mean, now, granted, this was before my time, but the few months ago, I went to a place. I was living in North Carolina at the time, and I went to
Okay.
a place. They had the DVD sets. This is like a thrift store, so they have like secondhand, third hand stuff. So I
Right.
got Knight Rider, the complete series, but then I also found a best of the '80s 2-disc DVD set that contains 9 of the best episodes of Knight Rider in general. So
Mhm.
I bought season 1 because season 1 has the Knight Rider 2000, aka the Knight Rider sequel that came after the
Yeah.
show was canceled.
After
That still,
yeah.
by the way, that still stars David Hasselhoff as the lead, but it
Yeah.
also incorporates like a new model for Kit and like a
Kit.
female agent that's working for Kit, working with
Yep.
Kit, and all that kind of jazz. And I watched those episodes, and I'm thinking, dude, I wish I were alive when this was on because Knight Rider is freaking awesome.
Oh, Knight Rider
So,
was the truth, man.
dude,
Yeah.
man, I
I
wanted.
had the toys. I had all of it,
You
man.
had you had all the toys. You had all the
Yeah, I
toys,
did, man. I did. Even a
bro.
little stunt game. Like nowadays, it's so different. Kids don't even play with the toys like that, but you really have to use your imagination. I had all of the little stunt props, all the man. Yeah, Knight Rider and Kid. Yeah, that was my thing, man. That was
Dang,
my
I
thing.
love that car. And William Daniels, the voice actor for Kit, is 92 years old and still with us. He does conventions, but you have to be very patient with him as he's very fragile, is very old. So please be gentle and kind to him when he's at a convention near your neck of the woods. Hope to meet him one day so he can sign my Knight Rider DVD set. That would be nice.
That would be
So,
cool, man.
hello, Michael. Or he can sign it. Hello, Ryan. Are we ready to go
There,
for a drive? Something like that.
there we
Like, I
go.
don't know. Like, we could drop some Kit isms in there, man. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. By the way, Charm has a answer to our question about how many 10,000 steps do you get a day. She says, "Ha ha ha, all good. I love you guys. I've been under the weather for 11 days now, but I need to update my watch to get back to it. I'm getting my steps in. I have stairs within my household. I'm constantly moving around." Laugh out loud.
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
you've been
That's me
under the
too.
weather for 11 days? That's unfortunate.
Hope you feel better soon,
Yeah,
sis.
please
Blessings.
do.
Yeah.
Feel better, G. We love you to pieces, girl. You know how we feel
Yep.
about you.
Absolutely.
Philip Miller,
Absolutely.
thank you for your thoughts as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you. The
Yeah.
one and only Darius Bradley Sr., because there is
Blessings,
a
man.
junior. Yes, sir. It is you, Junior. Speaking of which, we're celebrating the greatness that is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade's 35th anniversary tomorrow on Sunday afternoon at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in for that celebration / watch along. I think Darius is going to get a kick out of that one since it is Father's
Absolutely.
Day after all. So you never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Darius, thank you so much for being here with us, kind sir. Appreciate you being
Blessings,
here. We look
brother.
forward to having you on again real soon. And if
I
someone's watching or
appreciate you.
listening to this episode and they want to find out more about you, where can they follow you specifically on social media?
Absolutely. Well, Brother Brian, I just want to extend my gratitude and my love to you again, man. Listen, both of them are unconditional and they both go well beyond verbal expression, man. And all of the audience that tuned in today, nothing but love, respect, and blessings for each and every one of you. Continue to go get it. If you want to continue following me and continue to go get it together on Instagram, you can find me at divine underscore encourager underscore as it reads on the bottom of the screen. And on Facebook, you can find me at Darius Bradley Sr. parentheses divine encourager. And I would love to, keep up with you guys and be of service and add value and grow and learn together. Also, be looking out for my latest book that I'll be coming out with too, guys. It's titled Dad, Differently Able Dads. We talked about, our special needs community, our differently able community earlier. I have a book coming out geared towards our dads who have kids and our children or our child who has a different ability, right? Who is in our differently ability community, right? And so this book highlights our trials and tribulations and how we persevere through them. So be looking out for that as well. It'll be on all platforms, Dad. And I appreciate you again, Brother Ryan, for just blessing me to be a part of your platform and share your gift with you today, brother.
Thank you so much, kind sir. Do appreciate you being here. Do want to share something with you here. Charm says, speak it into existence. I definitely am, and back to me. And then she also goes on to say, happy Father's Day to you.
Oh, blessings. Thank you so much. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there every single day. Not just on Sunday, but every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here with us, kind sir. I'm going to speak to you here momentarily in the backstage area of the studio. But for now, my name is Ryan of Anti-Quote Channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5. Follow us across all social media platforms at @I-Quote Channel. Links are in the description below where you can follow myself as well as Darius Bradley Sr. and some of the other incredible things we got coming up here for you very soon. Also, we are on our way to 5,000 subscribers. And once we do get there, before the end of the year of 2024, we're going to speak it into existence, Darius. We can do it, man. You got to spread the word, brother. Once we do, we're going through a live stream special that's going to contain some returning guests, such as Darius. Maybe even Charm Celebrations will join us that night. We don't know. We're going to have some surprises for you, our audience, and some special giveaways that you, our incredible loyal viewers / subscribers, could win. And speaking of really cool things, we got merch, we got shirts, we got hoodies, we have stickers, we have coffee mugs, we have stationery, we have posters, we have throw pillows, a TV news reporter. What do you think? Raphael, what are you doing? Anyway, that's a TMNT quote from 1990. What are you going to do? But we do have shirts and hoodies, et cetera, et cetera. And people in the great state of Texas like to wear their hoodies. So go ahead and pick out some hoodies there, Darius, Charm. You may find yourself enjoying those things. We make them from the best material, and they're comfy, comfy, comfy. So nothing wrong with that. Just throwing that out there. Goodness gracious. Charm says, I will definitely be there for some of the upcoming shows and episodes we got coming. Thank you. Appreciate you, Charm, because you're great. You're awesome. You're spectacular. And Darius and I love you to pieces. Once again, thank you so much for being a part of this show, whether it's our guests, the people who enjoy this from afar, or if you're in the chat or you watch us live or on the replay. We thank you so much for being here. Your support means the world to me. It's a lot of fun doing these shows each and every single week. So once again, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell to be notified of when our videos go up or they go live. And remember, life is better when supporting creators or independent creators of all shapes and sizes and celebrating your fandoms. Take a look.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now, it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasmafire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasmafire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
Good morning. Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.